Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I'm starting my Zinnia seedlings from inside with a couple of things that I will be recycling that I had here at home, and then the seeds I bought from Lowe's for less than $2, and the expanding soil was $1.25 at the $1.25 store. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off by breaking down the coconut fiber brick into smaller chunks so that it absorbs the liquid faster, and then you can see how cool it is. Okay, the package does say it is 100% coconut fiber. Coconut fiber is my favorite base to start my seedlings from because of the moisture that it holds. Okay, I'm going to be adding a quart of liquid per brick, and my liquid consists of filter water and warm casting tea that I prepared from my worm farm. Okay, as you can see, the water does get absorbed very quickly, and you can see it. It's not even going faster. This is just in real time, and you can't really see the details, but it just really expanded, and it's really cool to watch. Okay, go ahead and start crumbling down the big chunks that are still dry so that everything gets moist evenly. I don't know about you, but I'm very excited for this year. This is my first time actually growing a garden with food and also flowers. Usually I just like taking care of inside plants, but this time I'm gonna challenge myself and I'm gonna go outside and just start planting outside as much as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and add more liquid because it's a little bit dry for my liking. Okay, I do like my soil to be moist, not exactly soaking, but moist. So this way it's a good start and they don't get dried up easily. I do live in zone 8 in the hot desert, and it's really hot. I like that there is a very long growing season, but it does get really hot and your plants dry up very quickly. You gotta make sure they stay wet or at least moist. Okay, so now that I like the consistency of my base or my coconut fiber, I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the pots. Now I like to fill up the pots and make sure that they do fill up tightly so that when it starts growing the roots and it does germinate, the roots have a strong base to attach to. We don't want the soil to be too loose and then the seedlings, start limping or they start falling off. Just gotta make sure that it's a strong base, but at the same time that it's able to move so that it grows its roots. And one thing that I've learned about Zinnias with the research that I've done is that it's going to be perfect for my zone because I do live in the hot desert, and obviously we try, well, at least I try to grow drought tolerant plants and anything that is going to help my soil so I don't have to add extra fertilizers. So now that the pots are tightly filled up, go ahead and grab a stick or a fork and kind of loosen up the top layer of the soil. That's where I'm going to go ahead and place the seeds. For pots that are small like this, I usually add 2 to 4 seeds depending on how fast it germinates. With zinnias, I feel like every seed germinates. They're just so easy to germinate. That's one thing that I've noticed with the couple of batches that I've already sown. So you just have to experiment and see how they grow. Now, always make sure that you read the back of the label or the packaging, so you can see what type of soil, what month to start growing them, depending on your area, depending on your zone. Some people start their zinnias earlier in the fall. I'm starting mine late spring. We're almost done with winter, but I did start my first batch in January. This is my second batch, and so far, it's been successful. They germinated within 3 to 5 days, and that was pretty quickly, considering that it was still kind of cold outside, even though I don't have them outside. But I tend to not use the heater a lot because it does dry up my skin, and I already live in the desert, so it does stay mostly, not as cold inside, but also not super hot. And the seedlings were probably sitting on 50-degree temperature, so they still germinated and beautifully. And so far, I'm really, really loving zinnias. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and place 2 seeds per pod, just in case one doesn't germinate, which is very rare. At least the other one will germinate. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cover the seedlings with a thin layer of soil or fiber. We don't want to cover it completely. We just wanted it to stay kind of like under a cozy blanket. It's able to breathe, but it's also covered and warm. Okay, I'm going to also use another variation of zinnias, which is the cut and come again zinnia, which is a smaller version of the giant zinnias. I'm actually going to use these as fillers, kind of like one giant zinnia, and then this one, and then another giant zinnia, so it's kind of like, filled up overall. I will be filling up a border wall with zinnias, so I'm very, very excited about the final result, and I can't wait to show you guys how it looks once I've already planted or transplanted. I'm so excited for this batch as well, because I already know that they're going to germinate. Zinnias have been wonderful to me, and I'm just so glad that I started growing my own cut flowers, and it all just started because I wanted extra pollinators. And I mean, with zinnias, you get beauty and pollinators, which is great. A lot of people hate the bees that come in with the flowers, but I just think that it's so worth it, to see butterflies and bees and just the whole ecosystem outside of your home or wherever you have your garden. Okay, so we've done covering the pots. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put a tray under because this carton does release all the water. It does filter out the water. It does not retain it. So I put a tray at the bottom. I did release and drain the excess water. Now I'm gonna go ahead and label my zinnias so I can so I know when exactly I planted the seeds. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just place this in a sunny window. Okay, make sure that they stay wet. This is the first batch that I started back in January, and as you can see, it's only been probably like 2 weeks, and my seedlings have sprouted. They've germinated. They look beautiful, and I can already tell that I'm loving it. Okay, so here are the zinnias that I just planted. This is a couple of days later, not even 5 days later, and we already have one sprout. We already have one seedling that's germinated, and that's just so exciting. As you can see, the water is absorbed quickly. Okay, and here it is today. This is March 2nd. It's been 2 weeks, and most of them have germinated already, and I'm so excited. So here you go. Here are my Zinnia seedlings. I can't wait to show you the final result, and thank you for sticking around.